Hello and welcome. This video is going to be a what sold for me for the various platforms that I sell on, and again I have 4 platforms worth of sales to share with you. So as per usual, we're gonna scoot over and I'm gonna share with you, and we're gonna start with the lowest performing platform first and then work our way to eBay because eBay is my main bay. The first sale I'm going to share with you, there's actually a tie between the two of them, so I'm going to give you the one I made the least amount of profit on, and that would be Facebook. So this is Facebook Marketplace. I got a message from this lady asking me if I would accept $12 for this pair of Buffalo China grill plates, because you guys know I have a soft spot for saving American restaurant ware. And I said, offers are open, please just send me an offer. And I don't know if maybe she didn't understand what I meant, or if she meant to send an offer, but she ended up just buying them outright for my full $20. Again, this is from me cross-posting. Pretty much anything that is on Facebook Marketplace that I get as a sale is strictly from cross-posting. There are a few pieces that I will list on eBay at the same time I list on Poshmark, and there are a few pieces that I will exclusively only list on Etsy, and I will say that when I do these sales. But sold for $20, and I paid $2 for these at an estate sale that I went to in downtown Newport News. It was like a millionaire's mansion. It was really cool. But I found these, they were outside sitting in the rain, and I picked them up and I finally sold them. And now we're gonna scoot over here, and as per usual, I'm gonna pick up this Moxie and move her over here for this one sale. So this is a vintage 80s Judy Bond white and red pussy bow top. That is, if you ever see something that has like 2 long tails coming in the front and you're supposed to tie it into a bow, that's called a pussy bow. Recently Chris Pines was seen wearing a pussy bow top, which I thought was really cool. So maybe they're just in vogue right now, I'm not sure, or coming in vogue right now for men and women. But it sold for $20, and the buyer paid for shipping plus, sales tax. So that's why it says $26.88, because that's everything altogether. But the base price for this piece was $20. I paid 50 cents for the shirt. So super, super happy about that. I'm very happy that now that I am making sure to list at least once a week on Etsy, I'm getting at least 1 sale a week on Etsy. So who knew that listing is the thing you need to do in order to get sales? So now we're gonna go over to Poshmark, because Poshmark's actually been doing really well for me. Like I told you guys in my recap, the last video I did, which I will link up above, Poshmark, I had a really good month last month on Poshmark, but then again, doing any more than 1 sale a month is considered good for me on Poshmark, and I've actually had multiple sales a week now on Poshmark, which is great. So first thing I'm going to share with you is this Travis Matthew polo. It's a size medium. It sold for $18, and on Poshmark the buyer does pay for shipping, so super happy about this. I believe this is one of the pieces I picked up for my collaboration with Amber, Josh, and Matt. This, when I saw the sale come through, I was surprised and happy, because on Poshmark they have a flat rate for shipping if you've never sold on Poshmark before. So anything 5 pounds or less is a flat shipping rate of almost $8. So for light things, does it suck for the buyer? Yeah, but they also make bundling really easy on the platform. But for heavy things, it's the best deal you can get anywhere in the United States. So I was really happy that someone got a really great deal on this as far as shipping goes. And yeah, because it weighed 4 pounds after I packed it. But this is a thermos. This is a vintage 1980s thermos made in West Germany. It had a copper inside, and it was actually gorgeous inside. There was a little bit of wear and like marker staining on the thermos where like someone had written their name on it, because of course they were using it. But I was really happy about this, and it sold for $25, and the buyer paid for shipping. Very excited about that. For a long time, I wasn't putting ties on Poshmark, so I was like, no one's gonna pay $8 to ship a tie when it costs like $4 to ship a tie on eBay. Apparently I was wrong, but I was like, well, I could put a bunch of ties up there and people could bundle them, and apparently no, they'll just pay for a tie and then have $8 to ship it. Whatever. But this is a Salvatore Ferragamo tie, and it sold for $10 and I paid for shipping. This was actually a really beautiful tie. It was a really great, like, it reminded me of the Partridge Family, the pattern that was on it. It was a lovely maroon color with like vibrant 70s colors. I think that's probably why it sold. This next piece is a Brooks Brothers tie, and it sold for $12, and this is offers I sent to likers, and it sold to someone that was like bothering me. So 2 weeks ago for this tie, the person that bought this tie, I spend the weekends at the boys' house, okay? And this person kept asking me like, how wide is the tie? How wide is the tie? If you actually go look at my listing, because all of my stores are listed down below, you can see it's like, how wide is the tie? How wide is the tie? And then I answered how wide the tie was and told him I put up a picture in the listing, and then I got nothing for 2 weeks. And then I sent offers to likers, and the dude that asked me 2 weeks ago for the tie about the width measurement, because I always put the length. I've now gotten better about putting the width in there, and when I just do like a yardstick and showing how wide it is in a picture. Plus it also gives a close-up of what the pattern is. That's why I started doing that, and they bought it. So I guess they were just waiting for me to make the next move. I don't know. But I'm glad that it sold, and hopefully that dude's happy. Well, I know he's happy because money's been released and he gave me a 5-star rating. So actually I do know he's happy. All right, Miss Moxie. Last time we got to move. I know you're excited. Okay. All right, so now we're going to eBay, and I sold this Barbara Batts original hand-painted dish. It's just like a trinket dish. It's just a pretty floral vanity thing. It's just something pretty to have somewhere for you to look at, and I paid $2 for this at the ReStore, and it sold for $8, and they paid for shipping. This is a 511 a tactical, and I am perfectly happy selling stuff like this all day. I paid $4.50 for this, cost averaging at a thrift store, and of course they paid for shipping. This is in my Miss Moxie's nest. It's a pair of vintage Bugle Boy carpenter jeans. This actually sold to women, even though I put it in men's. So it sold for $11.90, and the buyer paid padded flat rate for shipping. I paid, I think, $4 for these at a thrift store in Tennessee. This is a pair of brand new Columbia pants. These are from the Air Force retirees house. I paid less than $1 for this pair of pants, and it sold for $15.90, and the buyer paid padded flat rate for shipping. This shirt hurt my heart a little bit. This is not my style at all, but Mary from The Block Vintage, who no longer uploads here on YouTube, we did a box swap. So if you miss her face just like I do, or maybe you just want to know who she is, I will link that video up above. But her and I did a box swap where we went thrifting and sent each other some stuff after giving each other our measurements. And she sent this to me. It wasn't my style, but like it kind of hurt my heart to list it. But I finally got around to listing it, and it sold for my full asking price of $9.87, and the buyer paid for shipping. Jones New York is not a brand I would pick up to resale, but I was actually really surprised that it sold within a week of me listing this piece. So maybe if you get it at the bins, it might be worth it. I'm not sure. I'm guessing it's because it was an animal snake print, but glad it sold. This Eileen Fisher piece, I feel bad because I know, Isoda, I'm so sorry. They sent me a message saying, they were like, hey, you know, you haven't listed blah, blah, blah. I was interested in it, but blah, blah, blah being this piece. And I was like, oh, well, I'd asked her, I was like, okay, what piece are you waiting for? And I'll make sure to go ahead and list it. And they told me, and I listed it, and it sold. It sold the day, because they said they were going to go on vacation. So we said, I'm so sorry. This actually sold to a lovely lady named Hillary for my full asking price of $29.87, and the buyer paid for shipping. But yeah, this was a beautiful pure silk shell. I normally don't pick up Eileen Fisher unless it is 100% linen or 100% silk. This is something I had forever. I paid 25 cents for this at a thrift store, and it sold for $3, and the buyer paid for shipping. It was just something small and easy, and I thought it would sell for more, and then it didn't. So once I relisted it, I took the price down, and then I got an offer, and I was like, you know what? This has been in my store for almost 2 years. Take it. This made me very happy. So I rarely anymore will pick up flawed items unless it's something that I can repair. Now this is something that had already been repaired by the individual who originally wore this item, who owned this item. I picked this up for 50 cents at an estate sale. It was owned by a smoker, so I had to do quite a bit of entertaining laundering in order to get that smoke smell out, but I did. Smoke is actually very easy to get that smell out of natural fabrics. It is, however, quite difficult to get out of synthetic fabrics. So if it is a smoker's home, I will pretty much only stick to linen, cotton, silk, and wool, because those are the only ones that I can launder in a way that I could get that smell out of. So this actually had a repair in the back pocket where it had a denim patch. So there was like a hole by the back pocket, but it had been sewn back together. And I disclosed that, and it's still sold for $7, and they paid padded flat rate for shipping because this was a heavy denim skirt. But I'm very happy that a piece didn't go into a skip, because that's what would have happened to everything in this house, because it all smelled like smoke and that skip was waiting outside after this estate sale was over. So I'm glad something went to somebody who's gonna love it instead of into a landfill. And I made, you know, $5 profit when I finally got around to listing it. This is The Age of Fable by Bullfinch. I paid 50 cents for this at a thrift store, and it sold for $4.50, and the buyer paid for shipping. This is a Columbia piece, also from the Air Force retiree's house. Again, what is it, 2 years later? I'm still making money from that estate sale. It's still making me lots of money. Again, it's 150 pieces, as I still, again, have a handful of things I haven't listed from there yet, so you guys are probably hearing about that estate sale for a very long time. But again, less than $1 turned into $11.87, and the buyer paid for shipping. So I love estate sales. I love sourcing clothes at estate sales. It is definitely getting me in trouble, but it's also getting me money. So, you know, you gotta take the good with the bad, I guess. This is an antique Edwardian Victoria, Austria porcelain. So it's not an antique Victorian, it's an antique Edwardian. If you don't know the difference, just think of the Victorian era being at the end of the 1800s and the Edwardian era being before World War I. So like 1900s to World War I, okay? So this sold for $10, and I bought it at an estate sale for $2. This vintage Tommy piece, I also tend to stay away from Tommy Hilfiger unless it is new with tags or it is vintage and interesting. And this was vintage and interesting. It had these like vertical stripes, which most people tend to like anyway. It was in a XL size, and then it had a mandarin collar as well. So it had several things going for it. Sold when I sent an offer of 20% off to Likers, and they picked it up for $19.90 and then paid for shipping. This piece you can see I modeled. This is a Rolling Stones t-shirt that was tie-dyed. It came tie-dyed like this. I actually had this in a thread-up t-shirt box, which is the reason why I had it. I modeled it in hopes that it would make it seem cooler and people would want to wear it, because this was an oversized t-shirt. You can see here where it's actually covering my butt, and I am 5'9", so this was a very oversized shirt. So it sold for $12, and the buyer paid for shipping, and my thread up cost of goods for that box was like $1.50 per shirt. So I love the thread up t-shirt boxes. This is a Team USA soccer jersey kit, whatever you want to call it, from the 2016 Olympics, and it sold for $18, and the buyer paid $4.50 for shipping. Speaking of Nike, here is a pair of brand new Nike Pro Combat biker shorts, or I guess these are just booty shorts, because biker shorts are the longer legs, but these are booty shorts for sure, and they sold for $17, and the buyer paid for shipping. These are something I picked up recently at the thrift store, and I am more than happy to pay $4.50 for a pair of shorts if I'm going to sell them within a week of listing them. And then this is a thank you to Becky. Becky, thank you very much for accepting an offer. I sent offers out to watchers, and she accepted this offer for $7.90 for this lovely little AK Kaiser West Germany bud vase. It was absolutely beautiful. It has this lovely peacock on it, and this would have been probably from like the 60s, like late 50s, early 60s, and it's just really cute. So Becky, Thank you very much for watching my videos. Thank you for supporting me by buying something, and I hope you love it and can fill it with beautiful flowers for many years to come. Thank you guys so very much for watching. This is what's been selling for me. So I sold a total of 22 items, I believe, for this week. So my sales are steady, my sales are flowing. I mean, I sold 10 items this Wednesday. So next week's video is going to be thick with many C's, so I hope you're ready for that, because it's been fun shipping stuff out. And I will see you guys in a couple days for another video. Bye! Bye.